Okay, so here we are giving a presentation on a topic that has been in news in recent times, XBRL. There's been a great growing buzz around what XBRL is, and most of us we don't really know what XBRL is all about. Hopefully, our presentation will give you a little insight about what XBRL really is. XBRL is nothing but digital financial reporting. In 2011, Ministry of Corporate Affairs made it mandatory for the corporates to file the financial statements in XBRL format. With RBI and MCA both adopting XBRL reporting in India, there have been a growing list of regulators worldwide that are making XBRL report. There are more than 20 XBRL jurisdictions around the world, and the number is expected to grow. Now, we really need to know why XBRL has become so important. What's this whole hype surrounding XBRL reporting? The answer to this is standardization. For example, two Indians with different cultures interact with each other. They use a language called English. Now, what has English done? English brings standardization, which makes people of different cultures to have conversation with each other. Similarly, XBRL is a language that helps in creation, distribution, and sharing. The only difference here is that we will use a financial statement. Let me explain it through an example. An XBRL, for example, a namaste in Hindi and a vanakkam in Tamil both means hello. Similarly, we have an XBRL dictionary of financial terms. Now, if there is a US firm and it defines profit in the financial statement as profit for the year, and there's an Indian firm which defines profit as the earning for the year, what XBRL does is it brings standardization into the picture. It will define it as profit for the year. It uses XML as the reporting language, which we will discuss a little later. It uses tagging, which we will discuss a little later. Now, the, it has a common platform. It means we can use it on Mac, we can use it on Windows, we can use it on Phoenix, and it is freely available. Okay, now this is the picture which shows how data was analyzed during the old times. For example, there's an analyst sitting on the computer. He's trying to analyze the data of two companies ABC and XYZ. What he'll do, he'll take up the individual financial statement and use important items in each financial statement. But the problem is the files could be in different format. It could be a doc, it could be an Excel, it could be a PDF file. Now there is a certain loss of transparency. So what XBRL does is it picks up both the financial statement, it tags the files into an XBRL file, convert it into a software, and in the end we have both the financial statement together. So what it has done, it has converted the files in different format into one single platform, and it becomes easy for the analyst to compare the data. So as it can be seen, sales of XYZ Limited can easily be compared with the ABC Limited, and all the important items can easily be compared. It saves a lot of time. We now go and define the language that is used for the XBRL. We use XML to define the XBRL tags. The XML language helps in storing and transportation of the data. XML is extensive markup language, where markup means a set of tags. These tags are mainly used for storing the data. In this way, it provides a structure to the information. XML is just like HTML, which is used to store and transmit the data over the internet. The basic difference between the two languages HTML and XML is that HTML is only used to display the data. It cannot really store the data, while XML can store the data. Before we go on to describe how tagging is done, it is really important to describe what taxonomy is. A taxonomy is a dictionary used by the XBRL community. It's just like an Oxford dictionary that we use for our common words. The only difference here is that it's a dictionary for the financial terms. There could be separate tags for items in the financial statement such as net profit or net assets. Also, there could be different taxonomies for different standards used for preparing the financial statements like US GAAP or IFRS. Many different organizations such as bank or charity firm have their own taxonomy used to cover the financial data. This is how a taxonomy looks like. This taxonomy covers only the revenue part of the financial statement. If you go on to little detail, you will see how revenue is further divided into subcategories. So you will see that there's a separate tag for revenue sales of goods, revenue services, revenue contract. Now similarly, we'll have separate tags for the entire financial statement. If you see the entire taxonomy, you'll find that there are tags for CEO's report, director's report, and each notes to the financial statement. So what does tagging mean to us? Tagging involves matching the line items in the sets of accounts against the corresponding taxonomy tag. In the financial statement and in the notes of accounts, an item may be tagged if an appropriate tag for them exists in the taxonomy. Okay, let me describe how we really tag the financial statements. If you look at the picture, it shows how an address in the financial statement was tagged. The first line item XYZ building has the tag by the name of address line 1. We can give specific dimensions to the line item. So it shows that the address is the first line and it's a registered office and the country is Jersey. We can go on to describe the other line items of the address. It's very important to know that the principal location, city or town is a mandatory tag. Now what's a mandatory tag? We cannot submit our XBRL reports without defining the mandatory tags. Mandatory tags could be in the form of a name, the registered number of the company, the principal location of the city or town, and the profit, or many other mandatory tags are there without which we cannot submit an XBRL report. Okay, so let us summarize what we have learned so far. XBRL is similar to barcoding based on XML. It enables electronic transmission and exchanges. It is done through tagging and use of taxonomy that we've already described. It enables fast and accurate data collection. It is extensible. It enables extending taxonomies and creating new ones, as we've already described. The main benefit is it helps in breaking the language barriers. It supports the financial and non-financial data. It clearly shows that there is a separate tag for management discussion, for CEO report, for director's report, and there are separate tags for the financial items like P&L and balance sheet. It includes narrative notes to accounting. So this slide shows how XBRL really works. We'll have a traditional financial statement in front of us. We'll install the financial statement in an XBRL software or any other software such as XME. The financial statement data will be tagged using the XBRL economy, and the XBRL instant document will be generated. The XBRL instant document will be in the form of XML. Okay, now let's go and describe some of the benefits that XBRL provides. In a world where we're talking about XBRL, there will be more automation. Our costs will be reduced because managing the flow of financial information will be much easier. It also helps to improve the productivity of the employees because more time will be allocated to the quality information. We'll have better access to the information and we'll also avoid red tape. Also, if the information initially is presented to us, it's not usually in a standard structure. For example, the file could be in a PDF format, it could be in a Word format, or it could be in Excel. It makes it difficult for the system to meaningfully interpret the information. XBRL helps in bringing this structure. It also provides a common understanding to the financial information. If everybody would talk in the same language, information can be interpreted more easily. Another major advantage of XBRL is that it provides transparent reporting. Means it will be much easier for regulators like SEBI to detect frauds. Analysis of the financial statement is going to change by using XBRL. Now an analyst doesn't have to work for hours looking at the same information trying to find out something relevant. Using XBRL, we can not only compare the local companies, but we can compare the companies internationally. It is really important in the kind of world that we are living in to compare the companies internationally. Now it's easy to compare a company in Japan and the other one in China. Besides this, it also provides better quality for decision making. This slide shows how XBRL is being used by specific industry sectors. Industry sectors such as companies, regulators and governments, stock exchanges, investment analysts, banks, financial data companies, accountants, and software companies. Let me go on and describe some of the benefit it provides to individual industry sectors. For companies, it is easier to consolidate the results across the divisions and subsidiaries with much great speed and reliability. It also helps to achieve quicker and more efficient decision making. For regulators, it's easier to analyze and compare data much more quickly. Also, it helps in quickly identify the problems with filings. To an investment analyst, it provides greater transparency, clarity, and consistency for comparing the financial data. more software tool for analysis, comparison, and benchmarking. For banks, it helps to reduce the cost in processing data. It's also easier to obtain the data quickly and reliably via automated reporting. Similarly, it offers other benefits to other industrial sectors. In this slide, we'll see why XBRL is growing so tremendously. In the Indian companies, XBRL use is getting mandatory. So in the coming years, we'll see regulators such as SEBI adopting XBRL. Also, CIOs and CFOs of the company have realized that they have to get themselves updated to XBRL. But the only problem is this technology is unknown. Almost 80% of the 236 publicly held companies have no idea about what XBRL is. 59% of the respondents said that they are trying to read about the technology and they have not done any research on it. But still, the opportunities clearly exist for audit managers and senior level managers to get expertise in the preparation and maintenance of financial accounting and statistical reports through XBRL. Okay, this slide shows the potential challenges of XBRL. Now, with every new technology, XBRL has its own challenges. Some of the main challenges are mentioned on the slide. Now, as we mentioned in the previous slide, understanding XBRL and how it needs to be implemented are real problems of the organization. Also, people or the organization who usually adopt XBRL have a separate department to train the staff on XBRL. So it becomes very expensive for the organization to train staff on XBRL. It's also very difficult to identify the software tool to be used for preparing the XBRL compliant financial statements. If the financial statements are not tagged correctly to the taxonomy, the XBRL report generated would be faulty, and as a result, the analysis and the interpretation that is done on the basis of such reports would not be correct. This slide talks about how XBRL has evolved over the period. The main enhancement is centered around the electronic rendering of the financial information encoded in the XBRL document. We call it as iXBRL. If the focus of the XBRL is on the automated machine readability of data, iXBRL focuses on rendering such data. XBRL documents can be viewed only with specialized XBRL viewers, while iXBRL documents can be viewed on standard browsers. So we can use software such as XME for preparing the XBRL reports. iXBRL goes a step further. It enables rendering the data in a visually appealing format. In the end, I would like to conclude by saying XBRL is one of the most important technology. It can be seen because XBRL reporting is soon going to be adopted by many of the regulators. XBRL is adopted by close to about 30,000 companies who are reporting their financial statement to MCA, and this number is only expected to grow. All the big fours, EY, KPMG, PwC, and Deloitte have a separate department on XBRL where employees are trained on XBRL. Also, it is already mandated by many stock exchanges such as Johannesburg and US to adopt XBRL. I hope I've given you a little bit clarity about what XBRL is. Thank you.